Hello, this is Brian. Today is Sunday, May 24th, 2020. I am in the San Bernardino National Forest for a quite random hike at a not so random trailhead. I'm parked down there with all the gatherings of trucks at the Champion Lodgepole Pine Trailhead, and that is Forest Service Route 2 and 11. But I'm not on any trail. I parked at a trailhead. Why am I not on a trail? Well, social distancing is really not possible. So I am planning on hiking cross country along this way to the southeast of where I'm parked. It's a pretty well-known area. The world's largest Sierra lodgepole pine grows about a half mile or so down that way, but it's way too busy, too many people, so I'm looking for more of an off-trail excursion so I can at least have some social distancing. So instead of hiking north along the Lodgepole Pine Trail, I'm hiking southeast in this beautiful open Jeffrey pine and white fir forest. It's probably almost noon by now. What I did is drive on the 18 to Big Bear along the south shore. Then you come up to Mill Creek Road. So if you're coming from the west, like the 330 direction or the Lake Arrowhead direction, the Running Springs direction, you're going to bank right on Mill Creek Road. You're going to start following it up. You're going to bear left at an intersection with, I believe it's Tulip Lane. I made the mistake and missed it the first time, and I drove Tulip Lane. Next thing I knew, I was at a major intersection. If you're going the right way, you're not going to come across any major highway type intersections. You're going to be on paved road for a couple miles, and it's going to become dirt. If you bear left, turn left. I believe the name is Aspen Glen Picnic Area. That's where you know you got to turn left. So if you go straight, you'll drive towards Big Bear Boulevard. So, with that in mind, my itinerary today, it's nothing strenuous, or at least not that I know is going to be strenuous, but it's going to go hit up to some random out there little summit that's listed on Peakbagger. Barely a bump. It's technically a bump along a plateau with some slight ridging towards the end of it. I'm at an elevation of about 7,600 feet right now. The bump, or a peak, called Peak 8015. It's 8,015 feet in elevation. So I'm kind of winging this. So navigation for me might be a little bit of a challenge. My computer ran out of memory and wiped out all of my Google Earth information. Like all these peaks that I've labeled, these random peaks I want to hike, trailheads and turnoffs. So I lost all of that stuff I saved on Google Earth. I was really angry because I was looking forward to actually hiking to a lot of these very random peaks that are way out there. A lot of which are not even listed on Peakbagger. But did manage to loosen up a little bit of space on my computer so I could figure it out. Really wanted to get some other peaks listed because, you know, there are trailheads and everything I want to get on. Basically what I'm doing right now is just walking in the open Jeffrey Pine White Fir Forest here, which is beautiful. Not this area per se, but if you go down by the Bluff Lake area, which is right by the Champion Lodgepole Pine, there are some very lush conifer forests. I've been that way once before. I've hiked the Champion Lodgepole Pine Trail back in June of 2016. And I'll tell you, a lot of lush trees there. And there are quite a bit of lodgepole pines. And the elevation at that site is just under 7,600 feet. And usually lodgepole pines do not grow down that low. I have seen it a few times. You'll see some lodgepole pines around Big Bear Lake, like at the 6,800 foot level, and a couple actually pretty close to the lake. But it's not super common. So basically, what I'm doing is just following this random ditch here. It's not really just a little drainage in the soil. Here's a large old Jeffrey pine right here. Probably gonna have to go around the other side. Footage of it's going to be very sunny. Nice, beautiful Jeffrey pine right here. This one's been around for quite a while. I see another big one over there. This is definitely prime Jeffrey pine country. And there's some very large ones in the area. You're there. Widely spaced plates, like it's relative to ponderosa. But I don't usually see ponderosas this high up in elevation. Beautiful tree. Then we got, let's see what we got here. What kind of willow we looking at? There's a lot of this around here. It's like scholar willow. It's just starting to leaf out. Since we're at a pretty high elevation, you have to expect trees to be leafing out quite a bit later up here. Here's a lodgepole pine right here. Here's a Sierra lodgepole pine. There's a champion of this tree about 3/4 of a mile that way. This is Pinus contorta subspecies mariana. And I see a couple. I see at least another one over here too. You'll know by the tiny cones with little prickles on them. That's beautiful over here. So I guess there'll probably be a few scattered lodgepoles. There are a lot more over towards the Bluff Lake area. We're right near the dirt road. Not that far. But here's another smaller lodgepole pine. Beautiful tree. But yeah, there are a lot of scholar willows around here too. And up here they leaf out much later than they do in the lower elevations. So, let's see. So I guess today's going to be another off the beaten path adventure. Hoping to find a great specimen of white fir to do a spotlight on trees later. I haven't done a spotlight on trees in a while. Kind of hoping to get in one of those later. So if I do one, there'll be a separate video set for that. There are plenty of decent sized white firs around here that I could use. But let's see. And it's a totally off trail here, so I have to kind of make sure to keep my bearings. Look for familiar landmarks. Tell you one thing, it is knockout beautiful over here. Absolutely gorgeous country over here. I'm going the opposite from where the people were, so I'm enjoying some good social distancing. This is the highest elevation I've been at this year on foot. First time I've hiked at 7,000 plus feet, so it's a good thing. Just gonna have to get used to the elevation. This has been a long time. A huge snag that fell. Probably was a Jeffrey pine. Looked like a very large tree. There are parts of the San Bernardinos where the trees get quite large. I mean, quite large and sizable. Well, there's a landmark. Somebody's got a tent down there. So coming back, if I see a tent, well, they might pack up and leave by the time I'm done. We'll see. This is some gorgeous mountain country here. I will say I really hold the San Bernardino mountains in a very high regard. I pretty much do that for every mountain range because every mountain range has something about it that's charming and wonderful. I can't help it. That's just how I am. Whether it's a desert mountain range, chaparral, or conifer forest, each mountain range offers something wonderful. So on this hike, it's not guaranteed I'm going to find the peak. I'm not getting that there's going to be a benchmark or anything. It's a very random peak. But I know there's a dirt road that crosses right near it. An old, I don't know if it's used anymore or not. I don't know the Forest Service number. So I'm going to have to keep an eye out for it. So I'm going to keep wandering along. If I get uncomfortable, meaning I don't feel confident that going forward without backtracking to the dirt road or something is prudent, then I'll backtrack before it gets too far out. But until then, see you along the way. This is going to be a good one.